Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's get started on today's look. We're gonna start off by priming the eye. I'm gonna use the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 2. And I'm gonna take my e.l.f. flat brush and I'm gonna place that all over the eyelids, and then I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender to blend it out. I will go in with a setting powder. I will set the eyelid. I apologize, I did not realize I had the palette upside down, but this is the Morphe 9D Artistry palette. This is the warm tones. The shades in this palette are so beautiful. That corner mustardy shade is everything. Now the palette does come with a little sheet with the names on it, but you can either keep it or toss it, whatever you prefer. So to get started with this eye look, we're going to start with that middle shade. That shade is called High Temp, and I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk blending brush and I'm going to place that on the crease of my eye. And as you'll see, I'm going to be using stamping motion just to put it in the inside of my crease of the eye, and then slightly start buffing that in and blending it. Now, straight off the bat, this shade is very pigmented, as you can see, but it's such a pretty shade. So go ahead and start to blend that out. I'm also using the Sonia Kashuk blending brush. It's a little bit more tapered and a little fluffier at the end. And you'll start blending that shade so that it looks more diffused and blended in the crease area. Now I'm taking the Morphe M504 blending brush and I'm going into this shade that is called Horizon. It's a orangey shade, and I'm gonna go ahead and start blending that on the inner corner of my eye towards the outer corner, blending that crease color with it. Now these shades are very pigmented, so make sure you take your time blending it, placing it in the right areas, and buffing and blending as you go. Now, I was having a lot of issues with my camera, so please don't clock me for that. You'll see that my the visual will change. I don't know what it is. I'm still kind of new to the editing and doing videos. Using that same brush, we're going to go into that mustard color, and that is called Panoramic. And in the same areas where we placed that last shade, you're going to go ahead and buff or blend out that shade, starting from the inner corner of the eye to the outer corner of the eye. Now, as you can see, as I tap the excess of the brush, it is very powdery, so please keep that in mind if you are interested in getting this palette. It's beautiful, but it is very powdery, so I don't know if you enjoy those type of palettes. Now you'll see me switch the brush again to the first one that I was using, and I'm going to use that same shadow and I'm going to intensify my crease area. Continue to blend your shadows together by switching brushes, intensifying the pigmentation, and blending it out as you go. Now you'll see that my camera kind of changes, so I think it's using more of a filter now. I'm not sure why, but that will continue throughout the video. Now, as you see, just continue to use the same shades, continue to use the same brushes and blending as much as possible. Make sure you place the color and you blend it. That way you have no harsh lines and it looks nice and transitioned into the lighter shade. Now you'll see me go in multiple times with the same brushes. At this point I'm only using the two brushes, the Sonia Kashuk and the Morphe blending brush. All I'm doing is intensifying the colors in those areas so that way you can see that transition of dark to light. So you just want to continue to blend all those colors out so that it seamlessly looks cohesive. Now I'm going to cut the crease, and with this I'm using that same P. Louise base and start to cut the crease area. Now because I have hooded eyes, I've learned a technique that I've with other makeup artists is to place it on the very low part of your eyelid and then look upwards, and then that's where your crease should be cut. So this is just a better way or an easier way for people that don't know how to find their crease area or cut their lids. This is actually a great technique. So as you'll see me do here, I'm just placing the concealer and I am going to start shaping and cutting the eyelid area. Start cutting and then patting the concealer. Now this for me does take time, and if somebody that's not very experienced, just take your time with it and you'll see that it will look great at the end. Back to the palette. Now I'm going to use this shade. It's called Bucket List, and I am taking a smudger brush and I'm going to use that shade to place it on the lids. Start patting the shade onto your eyelid until you find it pigmented enough. Let me tell you guys, this palette is actually very pigmented. All the shades, especially the matte ones, work beautifully. I highly recommend this palette. If you're interested in getting a Morphe palette, want to try it out, and you like the warm tones, this is your go-to palette. Going into this shade, this one's called Vista, and I'm gonna change my brush to the Morphe R42. Start placing that on the outer corner of your eye, and you're going to mesh both outer corner and that lid shade, and you're gonna blend it together. You're going to pat the shadow on your eye, and then you're gonna go in and blend it. Using that same shader brush that I used to place the lid shade, I'm gonna go ahead and blend both the outer corner eyeshadow with the eyelid shadow. I am using the Luxie 213 shadowing brush. Continue to marry those two shades until it's blended out seamlessly. Back to the palette, I'm gonna go with this chocolate shade called Overlook, and I am using a Morphe R41 brush, and this one's more of a packing dense brush. Place that on the very outer corner of your eye just to bring in some depth in that corner. And as always, start switching your brushes in between, making sure that you're blending out those shades that you placed. Yes, you do stamp them, but you do have to blend them out so you don't have any harsh lines. And you will also see I do switch my brushes, and I do not put any eyeshadow on it. I just use whatever is left on the brush and continue to blend. You know, every brush will have the product that you use, so you don't need to put any more of the eyeshadow on there. Just continue to use it so that you can blend those eyeshadows out. Now comes the part where I want to pull my hair every time I do it. I will be winging this look out, so I am going in with the Revlon Color Stay Liquid Eye Pencil in the shade Blackest Black, and go ahead and start from the inner corner of your eye and start lining the lower eyelid and start shaping that wing liner. Make sure you breathe and then start building your wing liner, because that's what I do. I literally am not breathing at this point in time. Once you get to the outer corner of your eye, you're going to go ahead and start your wing from the outer corner tip of your eye towards your eyebrow, and that's how you're going to start building your wing. Once you have that, go ahead and drag your wing liner and connect it to your eyelid, and then just start filling in the empty areas. Now I do start to build a more bold wing, so you'll see me make it longer and make it a little fatter. The easiest way of doing this is to start off small and thin and build your way up. And that is the final winged look. I try my best to keep it symmetrical, so this is the wing completed. Now I wanted a matte look, but I couldn't resist in using glitter, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the Revlon Photo Ready Eye Art, and this one has the dual sides. One is shimmery and one is glittery. I am gonna use the glitter side, and I'm gonna place that on the crease of my eye. I am putting on lashes today, and so I am using the Lily Lashes Mykonos Light. The same as the wing liner, this is also a headache for me, so I am gonna cut to the chase. I have already cut the lashes to fit my eye. Now I am gluing them, and I used the Lily Lashes glue adhesive. It's the clear brush, starting from the center, then doing the outer corner, and then sticking the inner corner. Make sure that you do let your glue dry before placing them on. And again, you'll see me struggle, but eventually I do get it on my eye. So again, if you struggle, continue to practice. That's what I do. I practice makes perfect. So just continue to do that and you'll eventually get it. Now let's move on to the face. I'm going to use the Tatcha Silk Canvas to prime. Also taking the Professional from Benefit, and I'm going to use that to place it where I have my pores. I am mixing two foundations today. I'm going to use the Dose of Color in the shade 118 and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in the shade Caramel Beige, which is 108. Go ahead and dot that all over your face and go in with the Beauty Blender or a foundation brush, whichever one you prefer. Now I will be cream contouring today, so I am going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Beautiful Bronze. And go ahead and place that on the areas of your cheekbone, your forehead, and the sides of your nose. I mean, technically you can put this anywhere you want to contour. So for me is in these areas. And then go ahead and blend it out with the Beauty Blender. Now I'm doing this a little bit the opposite. Normally you would conceal first and then you would contour. But I actually wanted to tone down the contour a little bit with the concealer, so that's why I'm doing the concealer afterwards. I am going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Medium Sand. Then go ahead and just place that underneath the eyes or anywhere you would like to highlight. For me, that's the center of the forehead, a little bit down the bridge of the nose, a little bit on the cupid's bow, and the chin. Now this is where I had an issue with my camera. It shut off completely and I did not realize it, so I went ahead and added a few things. I realized that it cut off and I added the products that I used. So to finish the eyes, I did go in with the Big Eagle mascara, L'Oreal Cobalt Blue eye pencil, and I set that eye pencil with Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal, and I'm using this blue, which is called Karaoke. To bronze the face, I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer, Sunset Bronzer. I'm going to take my Aesthetica brush and go ahead and place that bronzer right where I put the cream contour. Now I'm speeding this up a little bit because you guys seen this plenty of times on my video. Now to clean up the bronzer a little bit, I'm going to go in with my setting powder and I'm just going to cut the cheekbone area. You see me do this in a few of my videos already. This is just to sharpen up that contour and that cheekbone cheek area. To highlight the inner corner and the brow bone area, I'm going to take this shade that's called Awestruck from the palette. Go ahead and take your face brush and brush off the translucent powder. For blush, I'm going to go in with the Alamar Cosmetic Blush Trio, and I'm going to go into these two shades here and place that on the apples of my cheeks. And as you know, I do a little flush on the nose. To highlight, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. Using my Morphe M501 brush, I'm going to take that highlighter and place it on the top areas of my face. So that is the cheekbone, down the bridge of my nose, above the eyebrow, cupid's bow, and a little bit on the chin. As you know, I do take my beauty blender and the setting mist, and I will go ahead and melt all those powders and products together. To finalize the setting process, I'm going to use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. For the lip liner, I'm taking the MAC Cork Lip Pencil to line the lips, and also taking the MAC Bullet Lipstick in the shade Ash. And just go ahead and make sure you blend those two colors, the lip liner and lipstick, together. And as always, I do clean around the lip area. And that, guys, completes this look. I was mostly focusing on the eye look today. That's why I rushed a little bit more with the face, because it's all the same process and the same products. So I just wanted to kind of have the eye look as the staple point of this video. This is just a look to finish off the summer, really, and to welcome our fall looks. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what else you would like to see. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy watching me, please make sure you subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.